Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday. And my God, what a Wednesday that it is. Because we got a lot to talk about. We're coming off of a really good episode of Monday Night Raw that produced some huge news, huge news, sent shockwaves through the women's world championship division. But more importantly, it sent shockwaves through the bloodline because we're getting another member of the bloodline. That's crazy. We're about to talk about that. Naomi is pregnant with, we've heard about this for about the last week or so. I gave some of my thoughts yesterday when I did my interview, my one-on-one with Paragon, as he just came back from Japan, and I had to get all my man's thoughts and see and stories and everything that went down from his Japan trip. It was a really great episode. It's available now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so go and check that out if you get a chance to. But today's Wednesday, and I go from talking to one very talented person on Tuesday to talking to another very talented person on Wednesday. I got to bring her in right now. She's divinely designed. That's Annie O'Neal here to get raw with me. What's up, Annie?
What's up, Con? It's Wednesday already? Like, I can't even believe it. It's August is almost over. We're
I know.
sliding on into September. Like, where is time going? It is melting and it's becoming even more fluid. I don't know what it after WrestleMania, I have this theory that the rest of the year just slips right on by.
You
But
said that many times on this show, yes.
I know, and it's the time again. It's Wednesday. And it's time to give it to everyone raw. I'm highly caffeinated today. Can you tell?
Listen, I think I am too. All right, I got off from work. I had me a matcha. I took a nap, so I got my old man nap in. So now I'm ready to talk some wrestling because Annie. Not only do we have the big news that came from Monday Night Raw, we kind of got gifted some breaking news.
We
Uh,
did.
yeah, we really did, and that's the fact that it's been announced official from WWE that WrestlePalooza is taking place on September 20th, streaming on ESPN. Yes, that's right, streaming on ESPN. It's going to be going down right here in my city of Indianapolis. So that's big news. If you're here in the Indianapolis or surrounding that area and you love to attend shows, that's going to be great. It's going to be an excellent show. Every rumor that I've read is showing that the main event is strongly being considered to be John Cena in his retirement tour versus Brock Lesnar. Of course, Brock Lesnar made a shocking return
Mhm.
at the end of SummerSlam night too. But listen, let me break all this down because I got to get your thoughts, Annie. This is what I have you on the show for because you're very good at what you do and you have a unique way of looking at the business. And I love working with people that have a unique way of looking at the business. So, uh, I said just about a minute ago that this WrestlePalooza show is happening on ESPN, Annie. It's streaming on ESPN. And you're probably wondering why already? What's going on
Yeah,
here?
I thought it was going to happen in 2026, but apparently no. And like, when we were discussing this before the show, like my mind was wandering. Like, would this be included in that three PLE deal that was established in Indy? Is that how that went down? Because we had
See,
the
I
big
I
Rumble,
don't know.
and
Yeah,
then
the Rumble.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then I thought like maybe SummerSlam, like that was
There's a SummerSlam that's contracted to come as well, and then
yeah.
also a Mania.
So but like I just remember like the well, you know how dusty Indiana can be. No offense, we just know it's true.
It is what it is. It's
It's what it
true.
is. We accept
It
it.
stank. It stank, but it's mine.
It's just a different flavor of Michigan. Our lovable turd, and we just do the best with it that we can. Um, but yeah, but there was a certain magic that came alive over the city of Indianapolis, and
Hmm.
you know, it's just like, and there was so much wrestling going on that weekend of Royal Rumble, and like there were so many things that we were doing in the household, but
Oh yeah,
it was just like a different, I don't know, maybe it was the Disney effect, so to speak, like we were entering the Magic Kingdom. But
sure.
I've maybe, and does John Cena have a connection to Indianapolis to make it the, is there a connection there maybe?
Not that I know of. I got to tell you, I don't understand it because I thought for sure that when I went to the Royal Rumble, when everything that you speak of is
Mhm.
very true, Annie, we walked into the magical kingdom of no deodorant and black shirts. So I mean, it was, but still, it was a great weekend. But I thought that when we saw Cena at the Royal Rumble,
Mhm.
I thought that was it. I thought
Yeah.
that was his last Indianapolis appearance. Now, not only are we getting him again, but he's rumored to be going up against one of his greatest rivals in
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar. So let me kind of break this down a little bit, and then I want to get your thoughts because the big thing is why are they doing this on ESPN already? I thought they were slated to go to ESPN in 2026.
Yeah.
That is I thought so too. But just in the little bit of time that this news broke, I had the opportunity to dig a little bit deeper.
Mhm.
So apparently there is it was a numbered deal. It
Mhm.
was a show numbered deal, not a years deal,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
how many shows they have left with Peacock.
Mhm.
So when they added WWE Evolution
Mhm.
and when they added night 2 of SummerSlam,
Mhm.
that was two more PLEs that they checked off of their obligations to
Mhm.
Peacock. So now because they did two extra PLEs, and yes, SummerSlam is, one event, but it was a two-night event requiring them to be on Peacock for a second night.
Mhm.
They used one and two.
Right.
Evolution and Night 2 SummerSlam. So now their obligation is complete after WWE Clash in Paris.
And how many more Saturday night main events are there?
Oh, I hope there's none, but I don't know.
Mm.
That last one was awful. It was
Yeah,
a stinker.
yeah. I'm feeling remorse even just like talking about it. But it is what it is. We are in the neighborhood in which we live. So
Exactly. Plus, I mean, if rumors are true, it's looking like Cena's final match is going to be on a Saturday night main event.
it felt like that got here absurdly fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'm still reeling from the, I don't know, like maybe he was MK Ultra and like he heard a trigger word and he just reverted to the Cena that we had for the last 20 years, so last maybe 15. So I'm
yeah. It was a hard pivot.
yeah, I mean, you know, and I think you brought up a point a couple weeks ago, like maybe he never got out of the Wyatt Funhouse.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember us talking about that.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
that's always. I mean, that's always. I just thought, and then I don't know if you saw because I know we talk about Raw, but it was on SmackDown. He had that interaction with our Truth,
Hmm.
and now our Truth seems to be back to not so much Ron Killings, but more our Truth. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit more layers to that than they're letting on, but. As far as this event,
Hmm.
I this WrestlePalooza.
Hmm.
I love it and I hate it at the very
Yeah,
same time, and I'm about to explain why. But before I do that, let me get in the chat here because the chat is going
it
off.
is.
Yeah,
Lighten
we
up.
got yes, we got my man Sam Knight. He says, "What up, my brother? What is
What's
up? Thanks for
up?
checking us out, bro. That's my guy.
What's
My
up,
man,
Sam?
Yes, my man Kevin Calloway says Brock versus Cena makes sense on ESPN Sports crossover. Most I agree
It
with you.
does.
But
Oh, for
many
sure.
people, Cena is a pop culture icon, and Brock Lesnar, with all his success in MMA, it's that's money right there through and through for
Mhm.
sure. We got Sam Knight saying we in there. I think Sam is trying to make that happen and probably go to that event, and he's on his farewell tour as well. So guys, if you get a chance to check out one of my last interviews that I did with Sam, was a really good one. We got Kevin. He goes on to say that being on ESPN confused me as well. I'm curious if this is going to be on cable. I don't
Don't
know.
say that. Don't bring that into existence, Kevin.
Cable should not be a thing no more.
No. No. Do you know how hard it was to get rid of cable and then we were broken into the streaming world? And you know what? Whatever. Okay. You know what? I don't want to help Kevin manifest that. So, yeah. Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh, we got Bruzy coming in here. Bruzy, my man Bruzy. He
What's
says
up,
this
Brizzy?
channel is just too sweet. Yes, it is, brother. So we appreciate you. But like I said though, I love and I hate this situation because do I love more wrestling, more WWE in Indianapolis? Absolutely. I mean, I had an absolute blast at the Royal Rumble. It was just a great time and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But also, I know that this event it's 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 counter programming. I mean, this is tactical. And I'm not saying that I hate it because you shouldn't compete. Everybody says that they want WWE to compete, and then when they do something like this, they're like, no, 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 no. I don't want you to compete that way. I want you to compete in the way I want you to compete. But also at the same time, I don't like it because the last time that WWE added counter programming, we ended up with one of the worst WWE PLEs. Well, not a PLE, it's a
Mm,
televised event, but it was one of the worst shows of the year for WWE. And I'm talking about that last Saturday night main event that saw Goldberg's retirement match against Gunther and just everything that went along with it because the ads were ridiculous. I mean, it was so bad that they would just cut like you'd get into a match and then there'd be so much ads that it just cut off the pacing of the match. You couldn't get back into it, and I hope that I with them rushing now going to
mhm.
ESPN like months earlier than we expected, on top of the fact that they just added this show to counter program AEW's All In event, I'm afraid that this is going to be another sloppily put together show by the WWE.
And mm, just why does there need to be another one? What? I mean, did September really need another PLE? Is it?
I
Am I
don't.
missing something? Because I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should. But in the spirit of competition, like it just sensationalizes more people to watch both. And
Yeah,
oh my god, people can absolutely enjoy AEW and WWE. I said something so controversial. I mean, like humans can like just more than one product at the same time. Oh my goodness. Did you know that,
it's
guys?
shocking. I didn't know that at
I
all.
like
I thought that if you watched
I
WWE, you had to hate AEW,
I,
and I
I
thought
almost
that if
had
you
to
watched AEW, you got to
yeah,
hate WWE.
I almost had to tag in Kevin to for the defib machine. Like, oh my god, holy shit!
I I mean, I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, WWE has every right to run a show on the same day as AEW. It's business. It is what it is. They are competing, and WWE. And I'll say this. I'll say this. And
hmm
this is me tipping my hat to AEW.
hmm
WWE for the first 5 years of AEW's existence was like, let me just swat you off.
hmm
Like, I don't care about you're nothing to me. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Now, this year, it truly does feel like WWE, they seem kind of concerned about AEW for them to be doing this counter programming stuff, for them to, feel like they need to, try to do things like this. It feels like they're like, hey, okay, I'm not gonna say your name or I'm not gonna bash you, but I'm gonna play chess because that's what
Mhm.
WWE is doing. They're playing chess. They're trying to ice
Mhm.
AEW out. They're trying to make it to where they're like, oh well, AEW is gonna have their moment on Saturday, September 20th. No, let's take their moment away. Let's make it about us. You know what?
Mhm.
Let's blow up this ESPN deal. Perfect. This is the perfect opportunity. When now we know that the show deal with Peacock is out of the way. Now we can blow this up. Make this. We're about to. I promise you. I bet I will put money on the fact that they're about to start blowing this ESPN deal up crazy starting Friday night on SmackDown. They're going to announce this PLE. They're about to try to make this a big old deal, just like
Mhm.
they made Netflix a big old deal because you got to make ESPN feel special if you're about to do this. They're about to jump full heartedly into this new deal and this new event that they just finalized a month before it happens. I mean, I just see them doing it, but you can't convince me that WWE is not a little bit concerned with AEW.
A healthy degree of competition is good for everyone, and it's good
Oh
for
yeah,
business. Like that's the beauty of a free market. WWE has, well, a giant hold on pretty much everything. But you're right. If they weren't just a little bit threatened, why counter program?
yeah.
I mean,
You would let them have their moment, right?
right, but at the same time, like going too fast too soon, like it's all gas and no brakes, and that, huh, see what I did there?
I
But
do.
it,
I do.
but why like put the pedal all the way to the floor? I mean, and just let things unfurl in their natural time. Like WWE is the prominent product, and like, you know, just let the ESPN deal unfold in 2026 when it's supposed to. I don't
Yeah.
know, like
I
you have too many balls in the air, like they're
I
gonna come
that's
down eventually.
Yep, that's exactly what Kevin Calloway said. He
Mhm.
says WWE has so many creative balls in the air
Mhm.
for all these PLEs. That's not all. That's not all the he's feeling important. I think he says matches are feeling. None of the matches are feeling important anymore.
Yeah,
The PLE fatigue is starting to kill. I agree, Kevin.
I
I
agree
really
a
do.
lot.
I in a big way, in a big way. And I want to set this table, and then we'll wrap this up
Mhm.
because we got to talk some Monday Night Raw. But let's tie this up in a nice little bow, and
Mhm.
I'll start that off by saying this. Um, I know you remember January, that first episode on Netflix.
Mhm.
It felt big. It
It was
felt huge.
huge.
They blew it up. They were in LA. They had so much amazing moments and great matches. It was a Monday Night Raw that felt like a PLE. That's how they presented it, is that it felt like a PLE. And but part of that lore, Annie, was the
Mhm.
fact that they promoted this for months on months
Yes.
on months. They had so
Yes.
much time to be like, oh well, we're gonna go to Netflix. Remember, we're going to Netflix. It's a big deal. You want to watch that Netflix premiere? We're moving from cable television to streaming for the first time ever in WWE history. We've never done this. Blah 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 blah. And they did that for months. Now that they've like you said and like I've said, rushed this deal with ESPN, they can't make it that big. They only got a month to make this a big
Mhm.
deal, and it just don't feel like enough time, and it just feels like WWE is rushing things right now,
Mhm.
and I don't think they're truly being true to themselves because it's like you want it all right now, and it feels like their business model is changing rapidly.
I mean, how many um UFC pay-per-views are there in between each other?
I think they do one a month, maybe.
But you know what? If there's just big deal after big deal,
Yeah,
and we get that weekly or we get that monthly, no one's gonna care.
yeah.
Mm.
That's just how it is, and I, I'm WWE is just they're making moves, and I've done this podcast for 6 years, and I promise
Mhm.
you, when I started, uh writing articles on NoDQ.com. And this was way before I started doing the podcast, before I started
Mhm.
doing YouTube wrestling review videos. I didn't have much good things to say about WWE. I really didn't.
Mm.
I, I feel like in the last 2 or 3 years, I've probably talked the most positive about WWE than I have ever, ever. And there's a
Mhm.
lot to talk positive about,
For sure.
but I've always been one of those types, an advocate for
Yeah.
if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to a lot of podcasts,
Mhm.
and you'll I there's the podcasts that I don't like that are wrestling related or
Mhm.
cover any form of league or anything like that. There's two styles that I don't like.
Mhm.
One style is the one that they're in their mom's basement. They hate everything. They're a neckbeard. Everything's awful in the WWE, and they could book it better in their armchair. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada.
Uh-huh.
That was one of the reasons that I got into podcasting is to
Mhm.
not be that. But then the other type of
Talented.
podcast,
You are also talented.
thank you, I appreciate that. But the
Mm.
other type of
Mhm.
podcast that that I don't like is the one the show that they enjoy, the show that they're reviewing,
Mhm.
when they miss, when they don't do well, when they're doing questionable things, they they dismiss it. They don't talk about it. Or if it does get talked about, they're like, hey, they don't need to, there's no accountability. I love
That
the
makes for the
WWE.
some of the best segments, discourse, but and also people have a hard time making a decision and
Yeah.
being honest with what their eyes see. If something sucks, guess what, Con? We can say that it sucks.
Yep.
We can be honest.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons I enjoy what we do. Man, this chat is popping right now. So we appreciate y'all, Rib
Oh,
Shot. I see you up in
everyone's
here.
going back and forth.
Yes, they're going back and forth
Mhm.
with each other. We got fightings up in
Love
here,
it.
rib shots up. I mean, and like I said, we and rib shots over there in the UK. So they're oh man, the international fans, they got it because all they got to do is go to
For
Netflix and they
sure.
get everything. They get everything. But we appreciate you guys in the chat. You guys are killing it in the chat, and we appreciate y'all. I knew this was going to be a big, heavy topic,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, this is what's happening, y'all. WrestlePalooza. WWE presents WrestlePalooza, September 20th, Indianapolis. It's counter programming AEW All In, one of their biggest events of the year. And AEW, for what it's worth, everything that I'm hearing and seeing is that their shows are starting to pick up now. So here we are, guys. We're right in the midst of competition. You guys want competition? You guys got it. Here we are. Here we are, head on. All right, WrestlePalooza, AEW All In. Let me know what you guys are going to be watching and checking that out. And while you're doing that, go ahead and hit an attitude adjustment on that follow button and check out everything that we're doing here at In Your House. So we had big news there, Annie, but we had some other big news that happened on this past Monday Night Raw, and all the speculation is out the window. There's no more speculating or anything like that. We were wondering, why didn't Naomi wrestle last week and put her title on the line? She had a title match that was set, and it didn't happen. I believe she's supposed to go up against Io Sky.
Mhm.
Didn't go down. So now a
Mm-mm.
week later, and the rumors were rampant, and now we know for sure, like I said earlier, Naomi, she is pregnant. She is the women's world champion, and she relinquished the title on her own accord. She wasn't giving it to Adam Pearce. She said, "No way, I'm not giving you nothing, brother." She put it down, and man, she delivered a hell of a promo. I mean, I have so much mixed emotions about this. If you want to hear more, check out the end of the Paragon interview. I gave a lot of thoughts on that, but I will
Mhm.
reiterate it. Man, I got to tell you, this Naomi run generational, and I know that
It
it
really
was
is.
going to be very. I knew that what was going to happen is that she was going to go on a generational run, and it stinks that it's getting cut short because because of pregnancy. But also, I have seen some Naomi interviews. Naomi has said that She was about giving herself about 1 or 2 more years before she was ready to get out of the business, and she really wanted to have a family. I also heard, I was, digging and stuff like that, that she's on record to saying that, she's had a history of some fertility issues and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And, so now here she is pregnant. And my mindset is this, and I'll encapsulate it like this, then we got to get Annie's thoughts. Is as
Mhm.
much as it stinks that Naomi, the performer, is getting her, highly potential generational run cut short. I'm so doggone happy for Trinity, the person. Like, if this is, you can't. As somebody who has 3 kids, there ain't never a right time. All right, everybody wants to prepare and do this and do that.
Mhm.
There's not gonna be a right time. All right, this was the time. I'm happy for Naomi and Big Jim. I just think it's gonna be great. And I'm as watching somebody like Naomi, who Jimmy has 2 children from a previous relationship, and I just bet that Naomi is the most amazing stepmother. But I could definitely see a world where she's like, I want to have one of my own, and I'm so happy that she's going to be able to have that moment. I'm glad they caught it when they caught it, because she was 7 weeks pregnant, which
She
means Baby
was.
Usos already wrestled and had a match. But what do you think? What do you think, Annie? What are your thoughts on everything going down with Naomi?
First of all, no one can beat that statistic. Had a match before they were even brought into this world. Like, that's
Right.
incredible. The bloodline continues, and I recall you saying a while ago, how can the bloodline add on another facet? This is how,
Yeah.
and I love it. I love it. Um, and she said, in different promos in the past few weeks, when she was talking about getting up on Big Jim, she was not kidding.
No, she
This is
wasn't.
how, this is where we ended up where we are now. And I love that she prefaced the time before when she had to relinquish a different title.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like that was a full circle moment when she laid down the women's world title in the middle of the ring. I thought that was a really really cool moment. I still don't want to watch Stephanie McMahon's podcast. Um, I'm good.
I feel like we knew. I feel like we got what we needed out of it. Like,
We did, but
I mean, we got what we needed, and
we
we didn't even
did.
have to listen to the podcast.
But at 37, I don't know if you knew this, but a woman who's pregnant, her pregnancy is referred to as a geriatric pregnancy. Like,
Wow, I know I didn't know that.
describing women like they're fossils. How crazy is that? You can look
That is
that up. That
insane.
is, that is true. Um, and one functioning ovary.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like just the odds that it took for her to have a baby, and given her medical history, like, is nothing short of a damn miracle. And
Absolutely.
I felt like there was from a different point, she might feel like she's letting her fans down at the moment in time that she's pregnant.
I don't feel let down. I'm a
I
Naomi fan,
don't
and I don't feel
either.
let down.
You know, and we heard recently, like you said, this would be the last 2 years of her. She wants to retire. She wants to look forward to what else could be out there besides wrestling. She's
Yeah.
she's paid her dues. She's had her time in the sun, and, like, congratulations, because when she dropped that news, I sobbed. It's just
Yeah.
like the secondhand elation I feel for when something extraordinary happens to someone that I completely adore. It's just awesome, and it wasn't gonna take a Slim Jim to insert Baby Uso. It was Big Jim, and
Yeah.
when she was saying Big Jim and she was smiling. Kevin was also smiling at me, and he was like, "You can call me Big Kev," and I'm like, "No, I can't. No, I can't. I, s- I still feel the sear of his Mimi face looking at me during that whole segment. I'm like, Big Kev is never gonna happen.
He said, "Nope."
Never, never. Um, Instead of yeet, we have skeet. So that's exactly what happened. Good job.
Oh man, I love it. I'm so happy for them, man. Like
It's never
it's
gonna be a thing, Kev. Never gonna be a thing.
oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Big Kevin here, man. I love it.
Don't
I love it.
don't help
I,
him. Don't help him.
I just thought I'd give him a little leg up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could catch on.
Don't.
I don't know.
No, it can't. No,
No,
it
all
can't.
right, all right, all right. But with with all this news being said and it's becoming a thing. Yeah, here we go. We
No,
got
no,
into the
no, no, no,
yes.
no.
Here we go. Oh yes,
This is
Big
why I
Kev up
don't
in
say
here.
certain things aloud because they catch on,
The
guys.
Lou, he says we need Big Kev. I love it. I love it. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. This is great. But listen, we have this of now the women's world championship,
Hmm.
and here's the way I see it. Naomi's
Hmm.
gonna go. She's going to become a mother, be gone for the months that she's gonna be gone, and probably longer than that because she's not gonna want to have a kid and just jump right
Hell
back in the
no.
ring. She's gonna want to be
Hell
home. She's
no.
gonna want to be with that kid. So ain't no telling when she's really
Yeah.
gonna come back. But in my mind, you come back whenever you're ready because when Naomi comes back,
Yeah.
she's gonna be absolutely amazing. She's still gonna be the same badass woman that we know her
Hmm.
to be right now, and she's probably going to be even more badass for being a mother. I mean, look at Becky Lynch. I got so much good things to say about Becky Lynch. We'll talk about that when we get to that point in the show. But let's talk about the state of the women's world heavyweight championship. Nothing was made clear on Monday. I like that. I like that. I felt like that didn't need to be addressed in that moment. It should have been about the pregnancy and that
Right.
joyous announcement. We can figure out what's happening with the World Heavyweight Championship at another time. They could announce it on
Hmm.
social media. They could do it next Monday on. Let that moment be about that moment. We don't got to jump right to what's going on with the title. So I'm glad that they didn't make it official then. But
Hmm.
let's talk about it here. What do you think is going to happen? Because I just they got Stephanie Quay in the mix already. She's there and she's got a guaranteed shot. But I feel like we're gonna move. It's gonna be Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky, and I love Io. Io's amazing, but like back in the title picture again, or Rhea
Mm,
Ripley, who I love. She's amazing, but
you
back in
know,
the
I
title picture again. I
I
think we could
I
get
don't
crazy.
know. I felt like at the end of um when Rhea ran in and she assisted Io, I felt like they were teasing a tag team. So
Yeah, I could see that
I
too.
don't know. Okay, but like and maybe could there be a potential NXT call up? I heard Sol Ruka was gonna pop on the scene of
Soruka,
Raw.
I'm a big fan of Soruka. I like
Loves. Okay,
Soruka. I like
so
what she does, brings to the table. But look, we got the same names. Let's get a little crazy. I like the name Soruka. Is there anybody else that you're like? Let's see them jump in this
oh,
mix and maybe get a women's
you're not gonna
championship
like it.
opportunity.
You're not gonna
Oh,
like it.
oh no, who?
I have to. You already know. Oh, Nikki Bella.
Oh my God, no, no.
Oh, I see it. I see it though.
They
Okay,
well, they
we.
got her in the mix. They got her in the mix for
Mhm.
the women's IC title.
Yeah,
But man, if they
true.
want it, I mean, if they want to pivot, they absolutely can because this is a point where
I
you need to
mean,
pivot.
there's no telling when Liv Morgan comes back.
Yeah, she's been gone for a few months. Maybe
She
she pops up.
has. I know it
But
was for. Yeah, go ahead.
you brought a name up before we went on the air that was very interesting to me, and that was Raquel Rodriguez.
Ba-dum-ba-ba. I know Judgment Day loves people who hold gold, so
See,
I
that's
and I
very interesting to me.
and you know what? I felt like that would I heard it in the commentary in her match with Io. like just how they were building her up in
Yeah,
like I think it was Corey Graves was going on about it. How she's one of the most decorated tag team champions.
she is. Yep, I think
Um
she's a
and I
five-time
feel like
women's champion.
yeah, I felt like she was and just like I think it was Corey Graves who was going on about it. And in that moment like I kind of saw Raquel Rodriguez shining in a different light. Could
Yeah,
she really be women's world champion material? And yes, yes, I
I
think she
think
could.
so. I think so. We got Fightins, and he jumps in. He's saying her losing clean last night didn't help her. Where I think you got I think you got a case with that for sure. But I got to tell you, man, like Raquel Rodriguez, this is possibly her best year. 2025 has probably been her best year wrestling. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, we got a Raquel Rodriguez singles match on Monday Night Raw,
Mhm,
and I'm like, damn, that was a really good match. Like, is Raquel getting better? Because I think Raquel's getting better. And then they're highlighting it. They're saying things like that
mhm,
I'm thinking on Monday Night Raw commentary. And I'm like, you know what?
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Raquel
Um,
Rodriguez is women's champion. Yeah, I can get behind that.
when Kevin and I were watching Raw, he brought up advice given by Kevin Nash. Do you know what that advice was?
What's that?
I don't know. I was asking if you knew it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Um.
I know that she's like, oh, I remember on commentary they brought it up. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm with it now. So like
Mhm.
she has her style now. Like
Mhm.
she is obviously a big woman, the statuette tall, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And
Which
and
I
like
love.
I love it too. I love it too. But she's
Mhm.
more wrestling that big person style. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mhm.
she learned it from the likes of like Kevin Nash and stuff because her character is somewhat influenced by, his Big Daddy Cool
Mhm.
Diesel gimmick that he had back in WWF. So that's her thing. She wrestles big now, just like OG Tony is saying. She wrestles big. So like, and Kevin's saying it too. Not to get bounced around and whatnot, but like, respect her size. And that's it. Now that she's wrestling that style, it suits her.
Mhm.
It fits her. Also, she's not like she doesn't have two left feet or anything like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like she's not wrestling on two bad knees like Braun Strowman. She's actually pretty agile in there. You know what I'm
And
saying? So like
she's not walking around like she's the Frankenstein's monster.
exactly. Exactly. She can pick it up if she needs to, but
Mhm.
generally her style is powerhouse. And I think that her style is meshing together well, and we're seeing some of the best of Raquel Rodriguez.
And you know what? I think Corey Graves is putting it over. She really has been the glue of the Judgment Day. Trying to
Yeah.
play that matriarch role and keep things moving along. Because things kind of got pretty crazy after Liv had to bounce because of her shoulder.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, she's. I feel like she's playing a pivotal part in keeping them moving along. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely, and I feel like in true WWE fashion, it's gonna kick off with some type of tournament or bracket system. So
That's the only thing is I'm not sure if they have time for that.
and they're not gonna be able to do it before Clash in Paris. That's I mean maybe like a few qualifier matches. I don't know, but that
Maybe
would
something like, or maybe just a fatal, because all they got to do is fill one spot
right.
because
Okay,
Stephanie Quay already up in there. So like maybe like a fatal four way for whoever wins the fatal four way
sure,
becomes blah blah blah.
yeah.
Number one contender, blah blah blah. So maybe they could do
Hmm.
that. But Raquel Rodriguez, like, yes, I have growing respect for Raquel Rodriguez. And I always got a spot for Raquel Rodriguez because I always
Hmm.
remember I called on this show. Oh, she's gonna return it. I think Bad Blood last year, and then
Hmm.
she ended up returning when I said it on
Yep.
this show, and then we were at a merge, and then she actually returned from
Hmm.
injury and whatnot. But I just think she's had a really great year. And if they decide to plug her in and do that, and put her in that mix, I would honestly, I'm not gonna lie here. I'd root for her over Stephanie Vaquer, because it's not anything against Stephanie. It's Stephanie's great, but like Raquel, she's been there longer, and
Yeah.
I
I feel
just
like
feel
she's
like
more established at this
exactly,
point than
exactly. So
Stephanie Vaquer.
I
I
get
feel like,
behind Raquel.
I feel like Stephanie Vaquer, I think she's a great wrestler. She's entertaining. Her English is getting better and she
Yeah.
doesn't even need to speak English. Actually, no, Nikki Bella is a horrible idea. No.
Fightins, no.
Yes, I
I love
did.
you, Fightins,
Sorry,
no.
my ADHD took over. I saw the comment pop up, and I'm like, "Ooh, what do you say?" But damn it, I totally forgot what. But I feel like Stephanie Vaquer needs, I think, at least a year before she gets anywhere
Okay,
close to that
that makes
picture. So
that makes me feel better, because I've been saying on the show I feel bad because I love Stephanie Vaquer and I know her, like the matches that she could put on, they're great, but I just feel like with like Roxanne Perez and Julia, they're doing their thing on the on the mid card and whatnot. It just feels like Stephanie Vaquer just got
mhm,
fast tracked, and it's like
mhm.
she's not on the show weekly. Like, I don't think we saw her on Monday Night Raw. And I'm just like, why is she already have a world title match when you have, mid carders that are doing great work? Lyra Valkyria, like I said, Lyra Valkyria and Roxanne Perez and Julia. That's your women's mid card of the future. I just don't understand the booking of Stephanie Vaquer.
Do you think she could potentially get the Charlotte Flair treatment?
If you want to present her as a heel, yes. If you want to try to keep her as a face and give her that Charlotte Flair treatment, so you get that weird Charlotte Flair, John Cena energy, to where they're like, oh, there's a portion of people that love her, but there's another portion of people that hate her because you got pushed too fast.
That's
So
what
like
I fear.
you could do that, but it's like that's what's happening in my eyes. As much as I love her work, I
Mhm,
think she's getting pushed too fast.
mhm. I agree, and I don't want to see her receive that that connotation of that she just comes in and she
Jumps the
just
line.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We got Kev saying, he's saying that if Stephanie is around the mid card, she'll get stuck there. I would hope not. I would hope not. I would hope that she'd be able to break through. I think that you got Lyra Valkyria, who's in the midst of breaking through with working with like Becky Lynch and Bailey. She's
Hmm.
starting to. I think in the next year we're gonna see the Bird Lady in a different light. I truly do. Like basically what you were just saying with Raquel
Hmm.
Rodriguez, in about a year, we're going to have that moment with Lyra Valkyria, and then Roxanne Perez. I think that time is coming too. I think she needs to cook a little bit more. Same thing with Julia, but also remember, like Lyra Valkyria, she's a former NXT Women's Champion. She's the first ever Women's IC Champion. She's already got a little skin in the game, as to where Roxanne, she just came on the scene just about a few months ago, and she's still working her way. Same thing with Julia, still working, working her way. But I'm just saying, I just want Stephanie to be presented the right way so that she could be appreciated. I'm not a fan of the fact that people think that she's just one move of doom with the, what is it, the devil's kiss that she does,
Hmm.
and then Booker T loses his mind and
Right.
everything, and now people are like, oh wow, that oh, the women are saying don't sexualize me, and then you do a move like that. That's not a sexualized move. That is a legitimate move, a legitimate wrestling move. All right. So like, it don't make no sense. She's not just one move of doom, and she's not sexualizing anything. She's been
Hmm.
doing that move in Mexico. She's been doing that move for a while, but already people were like pigeonholing Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm like, let's not do that. Let's see where this goes first. I have my opinions in terms of her getting pushed or whatever, but I'm also willing to wait and see where it goes.
I want to see what she does under the struggle. Everything that she does is, I mean, just because you make something look effortless doesn't mean it really is. But I'm kind of feeling like how I felt about earlier Lyra Valkyria. She's
Yeah.
too seamless, too seamless.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it seems like is it. I'm with you because Stephanie Vicaire. It definitely seems like everything about her, like her entrance, super clean, just like how Lyra's was, super clean. And
mhm,
it's like, all right, let's see you with a little bit of sweat on your brow. You know what I'm saying? Let's see you
mhm,
a little frustrated. Let's see you a little bit, under the gun, as it
yeah,
were. I just think. Just like with Lyra, like you said all those months ago, which was a very valid and fair point, which is one of the reasons why it stuck with me. I think it's the same thing that we said with Stephanie. It's a little bit too cleaned up in a clean product. We got to see her struggle a little bit.
yeah. You know what would be fun? Maybe a feud between Stephanie Vicaire and Raquel Rodriguez.
That
You
could be
know,
good. They could
like
put on
a
some good matches.
yeah. You know what? If Raquel got the belt first, and then maybe they did, I don't know, 6 month long program, and then Stephanie could potentially take it off Raquel. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't be mad about it. So
yeah. I just think it's a very the women's world title picture is a very interesting situation. So we're just gonna have to wait and see where
oh,
that goes.
you know what we didn't bring up?
Oh, what's that?
The Asuka effect.
Oh, yes, yes. We had to bring that up because you hit me up earlier. We were talking. We were kind of doing a little bit of like lightweight show prep this morning when we were talking on the inbox, and you put something on there, and it was basically like all the women that we knew that got pregnant during their runs in the WWE, whether it be Becky Lynch, whether it be Carmella, now Naomi, and there was a few other ones on that list too. I'll have to go back and look at it. But
Alexa Bliss,
yes, there it is. There it is.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, yes, there it
Mm-hmm.
was. All ended
Mm-hmm.
up pregnant. And the commonality between all of these women and their pregnancy is that they had just wrestled Asuka before, like shortly before they announced that they was pregnant. So the question here now, and I want your guys' opinions in the chat, and we're gonna take this real seriously, y'all, because I think there's something going on here. All right, we got to
What's in
figure
the
this
mist?
out. What's in the mist? Is it pregnancy mist? All right. Is
Or
Asuka out here creating immaculate conceptions? This
is
is what we need to know.
Asuka a Japanese fertility goddess?
That's what we
Empress
need
of
to know.
fertility.
I'm not joking, y'all. I need y'all's opinions. All right, what's going on here? What is Oscar doing? Is this, and Annie had an idea earlier. Maybe this is Oscar's way of inching her way back to the world's women championship because she could easily be world women champion. And she's got an easy 9 months. She's got almost a year reign, probably more than a year reign of championship if she knocks all the other women up because that's what's happening. Oscar is creating immaculate conceptions. What this is a scheme. It is a magic. It is a magic scheme, and I think WWE needs to look into this.
Sounds crazy. Could be true. I mean, does correlation prove causation? I don't know. Naomi said she was thinking Big Jim, but who she really should have thanked was Asuka.
Hey, it just goes to show you that nobody is ready for Oscar.
I mean, the potential next women's world champ better be ready.
I know, because you might get pregnant. All right.
Babies for everyone.
What is going on? This is the one.
I don't
This
know.
podcast has gone off the rails. I love it.
I
All
love
right.
it.
All right. All right, let's talk some Monday Night Raw. We're definitely going to talk Monday Night Raw here in about a second. But before we do that, I want to take a break. I want to pay some bills. Then when we come back, I have got to talk Monday Night Raw with Divinely Designed Annie O'Neal. Get some of her highlights of the show. We're going to talk about that and more here in about a second. Talk to you. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. And we appreciate y'all all up in those comments talking to us a little bit of what's going down with WWE, whether it be this new event that's coming to Indianapolis, the first ever streaming event on ESPN, that's WrestlePalooza, and all things that's going down with that, and their counter programming they're doing with AEW. Naomi's pregnancy, congratulations to Trinity and Big Jim. It's just great to hear. So happy for them. And then of course the state of the women's world championship and where we're going to go from there. Hey, Raquel Rodriguez most definitely has my vote for sure. But guys, we appreciate y'all checking out everything that we're doing, following us on YouTube, following us on Twitch, and then listening to us on the podcast version on Apple and Spotify. We've had some really, really great episodes, whether it be a couple weeks ago where we had Summer Rawson on here, and Summer is an amazing young media prodigy. Got a chance to have a conversation with her. Then last week, myself and the voice, we spoke to the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner, former ECW manager and announcer. That was a very, very fun interview. And
Such
then
a good
yesterday,
one.
thank you. It was one of my
Such a good one.
favorites. One of my favorites. And then yesterday, got a chance to talk to my man, our guy, member of the household, Paragon, as he came fresh off of his trip from Japan, his excursion to Japan, and his wrestling journey that he had there. Amazing interview. If you guys get a chance to check that out, man, I got to tell you, In Your House is in rare form lately, so I'm most definitely proud of this entire team. But we got to keep this going here, Annie, because we had Monday Night Raw. Like you said at the top of the show, we got gifted a very good episode. I want to get some of your thoughts. What are some of your highlights from this past Monday Night Raw?
Paul Heyman in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, is unmatched. Like, you can
He
tell
killed
he
off
just
Tommy Dreamer.
I yes, I saw that. I saw that in between, and I'm like, wait a minute, is there news that I didn't know about? And then then he's like, wait, he's not dead. But then
But he
then
should
like
be.
him going back and forth with Braun Breaker, it was great. It was so great. Like
Unhinged
he
is the word I would
he
use.
he does enter God mode. Like, I will give it to him there. Like, yes. Like, he, like, unhinged, off the rails. Like, I love I love Philadelphia Paul Heyman. Like, just something comes out to play that doesn't get to come out all the time, and I loved it.
It's a different bag, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's a different
Yes.
bag, and I like it. Fighting says he loved when Jay let a bunch of kids say "yeet" on the mic. Yeah, I bet that made those kids' day. So I'm all for that, man. Like that was a cool moment. But yeah, like Paul was unhinged. Like Philadelphia Paul Heyman is different. Well, we all know that because of ECW, of course. But man, I got to tell you what it produced, the environment and the stage that they set with Jay Uso going up against Braun Baker in an Extreme Rules match. I just felt like that was a great opportunity to do that, and I also feel
That
like they
was a
put on a
what
really
a way
good
to do
match.
that. What the hell was Seth Rollins wearing?
You could
I
listen, pick a week, and you could ask that same question.
You know what? It reminded me of my great aunt Smyrna's wallpaper in the 1960s. I don't have a great aunt Myrna, but someone does, and that was really specific, and someone knows exactly what I'm saying. It looked comfortable though. It
It did. He
really
did look. He
it
looked. He always running around in some comfy stuff. Like he looks like he just wears pajamas to work all the
he
time. Like
and he flounces. Not many people can get away with flouncing, but he does it, and I don't know why. Like,
that and
you
wearing pajamas to work, and you're the top guy, bro. Like
and
what's going on?
still looking like you're stepping out of a Gucci ad. I don't understand it. Seth Rollins nails professional comfortability, and I'm envious.
Man, I wish I could be that comfortable at work for real.
For real. For real. And I
Oh.
I usually wear leggings and a t-shirt, and you can't really get more comfortable than that.
That's pretty
But
comfortable.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But
any
how
one of that raw that stuck out to you?
if, um
Talking a
Kyrie
little
Sane
bit.
is uh
I'm saying I know you're talking about a little bit of that
mhm,
Triple A representation.
so good. And
Mr.
you know,
Iguana, yeah.
yes, I think it La Yaska. I think that is
Yeah.
the iguana's the puppet's name.
Yeah.
Um, just some of the
Did you see
lines.
Balor had a
Yeah,
puppet
God.
too?
Imanito. You know that that is $100.
What?
Yes, yes. I'm like, okay, like you. That's a price point that some people are willing to pay, but $100 on a puppet.
I'm good.
I don't know I don't know if you're aware of this, but I think Kevin was telling me about this that El Hijo del Vikingo actually was getting a lot of heat in AAA as Alberto Del Rio was stripped of no, not stripped, but he lost it.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
was
And
yeah, he
Alberto
didn't
Del Rio was their guy.
yes. Well loved. And it's fun like it doesn't matter what people do in their personal life. Like some people are still very well loved, but Vikingo is not embraced in Mexico as a new
Yeah.
AAA
Nope. I
champion.
see clips all the time of him just getting
Hmm.
straight booed.
And it's funny because I thought it was almost the opposite uh, impression that we had in Philadelphia this week. So
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in front of a Mexican crowd either,
no.
but like it's just crazy because I think I said it before the pod when we were talking about it. I was like, Alberto Del Rio in Mexico feels like he's Mexican Hogan. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
he might be he might be a piece of shit, but people love him. You know what I'm saying? So like it just is what it is. But like
Brock Lesnar. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I'm saying people
Doesn't matter if you're a draw. You're a
they
draw.
don't care. They don't
Nope.
care. If you were a draw, you are a draw. And like I get the feelings. I'm not yeah, but we separate the feelings. This is what they're gonna do. This is
But you know
business.
what? It's and that's it. Like that's what drives the focal point of decisions like that. Like it doesn't matter if someone is hated. If it generates a buzz, if it grabs your attention, it will be used against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That.
And you know what? It's
Mhm,
interesting here. I want to bring this up. Kevin
mhm,
brings up something very interesting here that rumors are circling that Del Rio may return to WWE because of it. And even and even OG Tony saying they will bring him back. Let
mhm,
me make a point. I want to make an observation.
mhm,
Um, we seem to be entering a time where figures like Hulk Hogan, who are controversial, Brock Lesnar, controversial, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And Alberto Del Rio, controversial. We're people are seeing them and we see it on the internet too with all kinds of different content like rage bait. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
It feels
Yeah.
like rage bait. And it seems like that this is what they're centering around some of these characters. They're like, hey, people on the internet are not going to like it, but that is a small majority of people, and the other people who don't care about who these people are outside of the character that they play, they're going to spend their money. So we're going to deal with this noise over here. We're going to make this decision and we're going to deal with this noise over here. And then over here, we're going to make our money over here with the people who love these decisions here. And this seems to be what we're entering because there was definitely a period of time within like the last 5 years or so where this was the majority right here. The people on the
Mhm,
internet that had a voice, they were the ones that they would complain and they would this and they were that. And then, you know, companies would make decisions based on that noise. Now it seems to be a shift to where they're ignoring that noise and now pushing towards the people that are like, you know what? I honestly don't give a fuck. Here's my money. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
like I don't know. It just seems to be a weird shift in the society that's happening right now.
Mhm. And you really said it very well. And
It's just
you,
it just think it's an odd time.
and just because you're loud on the internet doesn't mean people have to validate it.
Right. Yeah. I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, it's just one of those things where like we all have an opinion. We don't this ain't no philosophical podcast, it's a wrestling
Hmm.
podcast, y'all. But like, you are allowed to have your voice,
Hmm.
but just remember that we live in a time where your opinion is an opinion of many. You can go on X right now and see 9, 10, 11,
Hmm.
15, 20 different opinions. Least 15 out of 20 of those opinions are not good opinions. You're allowed to have it, but that doesn't mean that your opinion is fact or that it's the gospel. And it
Hmm.
doesn't even matter if you have a massive following. Like if you have a I see people all the time, red pillars and whatever,
Hmm.
and they have a massive following, and then the people in their comments are like, "Yeah, you're right, brother. Yeah, blah blah." Like it's people go to content that agrees with their narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. But it's funny because, like, the algorithm on each different social media platform is driven by negative emotion.
Yep.
People, that's what the majority of your content that is filtered to you is given, based on your high strung visceral emotion.
Yep.
And, like, cash create or controversy creates cash.
Eric Bischoff said it. Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And the more that people, like, they drum up whatever they don't want to see, they're actually manifesting more of it.
Ah, man, I'm
Ugh. and
preaching
and
over here, Annie. I'm telling you, they ready.
WWE, like you said, it's not philosophical, but like wrestling is psychological, and that is just like, open up a book, you might learn something. Just
How do
saying.
you get people talking about your how do you get people talking about your product? Sometimes the way I know for a fact, especially with your time in media and stuff like that, and wrestling media and all that you've done, I know you've heard this before, that any publicity is good publicity.
Absolutely. Um,
And even if they're causing a negative cataclysm on the internet with returning Brock Lesnar or something,
mhm.
they know Brock Lesnar is going to make money, and there's those people over there that don't care. They don't care about what you're talking about over here. They're just there. You know what? I don't care that much about Brock Lesnar, this and this and that. I like Brock Lesnar the wrestler, and then I turn the TV off after the show's over, and that's it. That's
Love
it.
him, hate him, and people are still going to tune in, and that's all that matters.
That's
That's
it. Period.
we just addressed the motivation behind the human behavior. It's like people don't realize that psychology applies to them. Uh,
Yep.
uh,
And you know
and hmm
Kevin said it and a few weeks ago about um when Brock Lesnar first showed up after SummerSlam, and I echoed it on a show after that.
hmm
If you are not happy with the direction of the product, if you do not like Brock Lesnar because of the allegations against him, if you did not like Hulk Hogan in the time that he was alive, turn off the TV. Watch something else. Don't talk about it. Don't
but I gotta
support it.
contribute my
Don't give it your.
opinion.
I know, but you're falling in.
But
They're falling into it by
we're
doing that.
still adding to the entity that is these people.
You
I don't know.
that's It's falling into the void. It's
Mm.
falling into the if you hate it, if you cannot stand it, don't support it because that's how you truly hurt them. That's
Don't
how
feed
it
the machine. We starve it. Oh my gosh, it's not
exactly.
that hard.
Could you imagine if collectively, a huge collective of wrestling fans just said, you know what? We're not buying tickets it would never happen because there's too many people that love it casually. But
Yep.
like if a huge amount say we're not buying tickets, we're not watching you on Netflix, we're gonna
Mhm.
tank your rating, then they have no choice. Them and TKO are like, okay, we have to pivot. We have no choice. But that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna
because
happen.
right, because people are too consumed by their rage.
Yep.
If you
Yep.
the more power, the more emotionally reactive you are to something, the more power it has over you. Over you. You are a slave to that thing. And that's
Yep.
just how that works. It's
Yep.
magnetism. Silly. Silly, silly, silly people.
It is. It is. And I'm telling you, and I bet that it was, especially those people, specifically those people that you were talking about. The second they saw Brock Lesnar on their TV, they probably picked up their phones and went to X quick. I promise you, they started angry typing the minute they saw Brock Lesnar. They picked up their phone with the, and like you said perfectly, they're eliciting emotion out of you. They are eliciting emotion out of you. You're giving them what they want. That's the point
Hmm.
that I'm trying to make. That it doesn't matter if you piss on it, if you shit on it, if you kick it in the dirt. It doesn't matter. You're still talking about it. You're still giving them a space in your brain and more. When people put in hashtag WWE, they're gonna see your bad opinions. They're gonna see your thoughts on it or whatever. It's still contributing to the machine.
It's easier to hate something than it is to love it.
Yep. Yep. And you got OG Tony. He says some content creators bitch about it, but are fine to make money off of it. Yeah, I
100,
mean, I've seen it a million times, man. That's a whole
100%.
nother that's a whole other podcast right there for
Oh,
sure.
we just angered the neckbeards.
Oh man. All right, well, they'll be all right.
I love them. I love them. I like shaking them up like a 2 liter of Coke.
It's fun. It
It's
is
fun.
fun. They get so upset, but like we got to move on here because we kind of got stuck in
Um,
a whole
we
little
did.
whole little situation, which is fine. I mean, we're here to have a conversation. That's what we do. But I want to stay with some of the women's action because we talked a lot about the women's title picture, with Naomi and everything. But I want to talk about the IC title because I gotta say, um, I've watched Becky Lynch's entire career. Literally, I've watched Becky Lynch from the beginning of her career when they had her doing a little jig in NXT and it was so awful and embarrassing to when she came to the main roster to when she became the man to when she became big time Bex to when she's done all these things. And like I gotta tell you, as much as I've seen this woman do awesome stuff, become the man by having running in the crowd on defending SmackDown Live after Nia Jax punched her in the face and broke her nose, blood all over her face, iconic image. Main
Absolutely.
eventing WrestleMania, which was wonderful to be able to see the women main event to WrestleMania. That was great. And she was part of that mix as well. To
In
now
Philadelphia.
in Philadelphia,
That happened. Yep.
and like now she's back again. And she's the women's intercontinental champion. And I gotta tell you, once again, like I said, watching all of Becky Lynch's runs, I got to tell you, I think this IC title run might be my favorite right now. She's doing
I
amazing
agree.
work, in my opinion.
She plays the role of a delusional narcissist so well.
So good.
So well. And it's entertaining because like during her backstage interview, she was just um she reversed Lynch's attack on Natty. Like it was funny. Like it was Natty who did everything. It was
Yeah,
it was Natty attacked her, and she was just simply defending herself because
she's so good.
why would anyone? Yeah, like why would she ever provoke anyone? Like it,
The way she turned herself into a victim was masterful.
so great. Like uh, I don't know if anyone does it with such a finesse that Becky Lynch does. And then she was like, hey Natalia, welcome to the big time. I'm like, like
Good stuff. She's in a bag right now.
she is, and love it. She's just mowing through all of the women on the mid card roster. It's really 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 fun.
Yeah. I did not expect her to come in and just be the cornerstone of the women's mid card, but I'm so happy that we're here. I think and plus, I mean, for my money, the IC title just looks great on her. I think it fits her well. I think that listening to her promos and talking about how she's trying to be the best women's IC champion, she's going to be the best ever women's IC champion. I love the importance that she's putting on the belt. That's when you use your star power to make the
I
belt.
think it's
That's when the
I think it's
person makes
happening.
the
I think
belt.
it's Yes. I feel like that's exactly what's happening. She is etching herself in history as the best ever women's IC champion.
Yeah. Yeah. And then having matches that she's been having with Lyra Valkyria, then she's given opportunities to Maxine Dupree, then she just wrestling Natalia. Like it's not like she's just holding the title. She's actually
Mhm.
racking up like title defenses. And she's on the show weekly, and she's really truly personifying what the Intercontinental Championship was always meant to be, and that was the
Mhm.
workhorse title. And I gotta tell you, Becky Lynch is feeling like quite the workhorse right now.
And especially like going over someone like Natalia, who like
Is a
5 years ago
workhorse in her own
is
right. She's one
is
of the
doing
greatest workhorses ever.
exactly. And Becky is doing what Natalia did like 5 years ago. And
Yeah.
I just feel like it was such a full circle moment, and it was absolute like it was a masterpiece what we saw out of both of these women on Raw. Like we knew on paper it was going to deliver, but watching it unfold right before your eyes, even all that more satisfying.
It's crazy because like Natalia versus Becky Lynch on a Monday Night Raw,
Hmm.
just randomly. Like for my money, that's I mean, with the accolades that these women have,
Hmm.
that's easily a PLE match.
Absolutely. Do you think we will see the Loki legend on Raw? I don't know if we will.
Uh, okay, I'm just gonna be optimistic on this one because logically I say no, but I want to see it. Like I want to see the low key legend come and bring Bloodsport Natty to the because I think that
Please.
she could easily bring that gimmick to Monday Night Raw, and she could be the one to defeat Becky Lynch. I mean,
I
this
want to see the
ooh,
dungeon Natalia.
I would like to see that too because she does, she's keeping that dungeon alive. She's always like, let's not forget about Natalia, y'all. Like, I'm pretty sure, and I'd have to look this up, but I think she's documented with like having the most matches like ever,
Yep.
like
Yep.
true workhorse, true workhorse. And she's so smooth in the ring. We saw it on Monday Night Raw, even with all the time, and even the fact that she doesn't wrestle on Monday Night Raw
Hmm.
weekly or on a regular basis. But remember, this is a woman who spends a lot of time training, a lot of time
A
training. So
lot.
she went in there with Becky Lynch, and it was just like, all right, let's do this and this and this. You know what I'm saying? We'll get them up here, blah blah blah, and then we'll figure it. And it was like it just felt like it was just another day in the office, but it was a beautiful day in the office. I loved watching these two women wrestle.
And I feel like a lot of people unfairly sleep on Natalia, and they shouldn't.
Yeah,
And she jarred them awake. She really did. And I think she's having the time of her life doing what she's doing on the indies on the sidebar. So I don't
yeah,
I don't know. I would love to see it, but I don't know if it's gonna
absolutely.
happen.
Absolutely. I just wanted to show love to what Becky Lynch is doing, but it seems I want to also add in the fact that it looks like Nikki Bella is going to be, in that women's IC title match, IC title match, like I mentioned earlier. I, I what are we doing? Like
I don't know.
I,
I'm
I
not happy about it.
I'm not a huge. Listen. I'm well documented, so I just got to stay true to myself. I'm well documented that I have not been a fan of Nikki Bella over the years. This is a long time, and it's not no personal hate. Like I'm not gonna attack her personally, like a lot of these podcasts do, or a lot of these neckbeards do on X or whatever and attack her appearance and this and that and blah blah blah, whatever. I don't care about that. I just don't
Yeah.
feel like the character has ever been up to par. Every time I hear her cut a promo, it always feels like she's reading off of a script or she sounds like she's at a reality show, which is absolutely her lane. And then the wrestling has never been like top notch, but like she's just mentioned her spot in the way that she did, and it is what it is. But like I don't want to see it. Just feels weird to me. It don't feel like the right vibe for this run that Becky Lynch is on right now, which I mean, great run. Like I said, really enjoying her IC title run. And then for whatever reason, the title goes on to Nikki Bella. For what? For what? And for why? I personally don't want to see that. I think there's a lot of other options in that women's mid card that you can have to get that title off of Becky Lynch when that time comes. But I just don't think Nikki Bella is the one.
I know she's got to pay her alimony, but can she pay that on SmackDown? Can she
Yeah,
do it with with the US title, the US women's title, please? Like,
yeah,
okay, I
yeah.
understand the need for Nikki Bella, and I can't believe I even said that. Facing a sincere internal conflict right now. I'm troubled. But why not do that with Julia in the US title? I feel like that could be
Yeah,
bolstered by Nikki Bella's star power even more that way. But let Becky cook. Let
yeah.
like
I
why
would love to see this title reign last a little bit longer.
I you know what, and I don't want to see her drop it anytime soon. If it I felt like if it was going to be against anyone, it was going to be against Lyra. But
Yeah,
I want to see a long IC reign from Becky Lynch. Like I'm entertained week in and week out, and I want as much as I can with it.
yeah. No, I'm totally with you. I'm enjoying Becky Lynch's run right now. I love the new music. We talked about that before, but I just want to reiterate I love the new music. But yeah, it's just an interesting vibe right now
And
with Becky Lynch, and I just feel like
someone
Nikki Bella is a hard pivot.
someone said earlier, if it's going to be in the comments, if it's going to be a Nikki, can it be Nikki Cross? Because why
Yes.
not? Why not? That was a great comment. Don't remember who said it, but can we switch Nikki's, please?
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that. I mean, it was our guy Adam Gronvold who said it. Here it is. If it's gonna be Nikki, let it be. Please let it be Nikki Cross. That's a great comment. So we'll go ahead and star that one. But yeah, I love what Becky's doing, and I just feel like it's not Nikki Bella's not good for that title right now. You want to keep us, and I know they feel like, oh well, Nikki's a former Divas champion, and this and that, and she was the face of the division in her time. Come on, man! Like I know y'all see the writing on the wall with Nikki Bella. I know that y'all feel like she had some star power. She might have a lightweight, Bella army and whatnot, but I don't know. I mean, if it's good for business, I don't know. If y'all like it, I love it. So it is what it is for that. But I, as far as Becky Lynch goes, this can go on for the rest of the year. Like you said, now that we've got past the point where I thought it was going to be Lyra getting the
Hmm.
second title run, which I thought was going to happen at SummerSlam. Now that we're past
Hmm.
that point, Lyra can't fight for the title anymore.
As
I
long as
am
Becky has
okay.
it,
Yeah, as long as Becky has it,
hmm
but I'm okay
which I'm
with
fine
the
with.
long.
I'm okay with
Exactly,
that.
I'm okay with the long Becky Lynch title run for a while until somebody truly deems themselves worthy.
Hmm. But
So,
what about that other the next Bailey segment that we saw?
ooh, yes, good thought
That
on that. I'm glad you brought that up because I am very interested, and I said this last night, or I'm
hmm
sorry, I said this Monday when I watched Raw, and I said with Naomi leaving. She's gonna be gone for over a year, I'd assume. Time to be pregnant and time to be with the child. So I don't assume we'll see her for another year. There is definitely a lane right now that opens up for an unhinged, crazy style character. And I think
hmm
that this is where we're going with Bailey, because this was very interesting. Like you could hear like the voices in her head getting so loud, and like the noise is so loud, and you're like,
Mhm.
I just want quiet. I just want to be able to think clear. I can't. We've all had those moments. I found it to be incredibly relatable, to where you just want some, you want some silence in your head, but there's just so many voices, so many things racing in your mind, and you're just like, I just want the quiet. I just need to clear my head. And I think that's what we're seeing with Bailey. I think we're going to see a very, very interesting character. I don't know exactly where we're going, but the genesis of it, I'm enjoying it.
I wonder if Randy Orton hears the same voices
You might be right.
because they talk to him, they counsel him. But I don't think Bailey's in that point yet. The voices are just screaming at her. The
Yeah, all at the
cacophony is
same
just
time.
really loud. Like the voices are just schizophrenic right now, which I thought was really interesting. I actually, when I was watching that, I kind of, um, I drew a very interesting parallel to like the concept of mental health
Yeah,
and how Bailey like she poses a very honest like look at what's going on like in the human psyche when we just keep missing the mark, where we are in those barren seasons and not everything is fruitful, and what someone does with that can be like either catastrophic or like really turn over a positive leaf. So I don't know, I really think when when I wanted something new from Bailey, I didn't want it to come at her demise.
yeah.
So maybe I wasn't specific when I was manifesting that, and I'm really sorry.
Man, I just when I see this new potential Bailey character, I'm
Mhm.
I'm hopeful, because I think that some of the stuff with Bailey was just that, and I'm a huge Bailey fan,
Mhm.
and I think that she's one of the best in the company, in terms of like anytime you give her something, she works with it. She does it really well, and I think that that's the same thing with like Sami Zayn, and we're seeing
Mhm.
like I say we're seeing some Sami Zayn fatigue, but that's a conversation for another time.
Mhm.
Um, but Bailey, she just does so well with when you give her something, but like still, even recently, she's felt like dry. Like there's no meat on the bones. Like
Right.
she's wrestling, but she doesn't have a purpose. You know.
Yeah.
Now I
A-
think that we're finding something for her to latch onto.
And I hope we don't see her until we see more of the eroding of that human. Like like want to see the dilapidation because like from last week it was one thing, but it was a little worse this week.
Yep.
So I don't know, like maybe just keep her limited to vignettes, or she's interrupting like um backstage segments and she starts
Yeah.
like stalking people because the voices are telling her to.
Yep.
I don't know. Like or maybe I feel like yeah, you laid out a really good thing when you were talking about the women's world championship.
Yeah.
It's a quick pipeline for
She
her to
could
be in there.
quickly. I was
Mhm.
gonna say she could quickly find herself in that situation if if the cards fall in the right place. But also, but once again, like I said earlier about the WrestlePalooza thing, I I don't want them to rush the Bailey thing, because that's what WWE's doing
Mhm.
a lot, is rushing. And I felt
Mhm.
like that with Naomi, because like we had it felt like a very slow burn with the Naomi turn.
Mhm.
From the time back in November when she pushed Jade, and she landed on the windshield, and then the deceiving and the deceit that she had with Bianca Belair, and then when the promo started, when the vignette started
Mhm.
with it was all very slow burn,
Mhm.
very calculated, very methodical, very well thought out. And I don't want it to be at the expense of what this Bailey thing is, to where we
Yes.
rush it and like, well, let's
Yes.
just put her in the title picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can still be a champion at some point, but it doesn't have to be right now. I say let's let this marinate with whatever this is, because whatever this is, it's it's
Hmm.
it's better placed to be gentle with it and take care of it,
Right.
just like you did with
Right.
Naomi.
And I feel like in this case, this specific case with with Bailey, where if things incrementally get worse, like I feel like the right course of action would to let it happen slowly over time. Let someone else win the belt before her, and then she stalks them. Like she becomes obsessed with them.
Yeah,
And like if CM Punk and Drew McIntyre can do that with a stupid bracelet, it can
yeah,
happen in the damn women's division, okay?
for sure. For sure. I agree with you. It just adds an interesting wrinkle to what Bailey can be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out on this Bailey situation because it's growing and becoming more and more interesting. But let's wrap this thing up. Let's call this a great episode and talk about the main event segment in the match as well. Extreme Rules match between Breaker and Jay Uso. And man, we saw a lot of run-ins with that. We got LA Knight in the mix, Seth Rollins in the mix, Punk in the mix, Roman Reigns in the mix, like a lot of things that's going on. The I gotta say that like it's crazy how the Monday Night Raw main event scene has really ramped up.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Jay Uso, who's considered a main event guy at this point, well deserved, and then you have Seth Rollins, champion, LA Knight, who they did exactly what I think they needed to do, and that was get LA Knight off of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight is a potential main event player, and I think they see that value in him. Put him on Monday Night Raw, and now he's in the mix, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Like when he first came to Monday Night Raw, I was like, "What are you doing here, dude?" But like as it's continued, I'm like, "All right,
Right.
I see where he plays into everything." You know what I'm saying? And then you got CM Punk also in the mix in
Mm-hmm.
there too. And then you still have Roman Reigns floating around, you know what I'm saying? And then you have the Vision that's floating around and everything that they're doing. And I think that it's just created an interesting main event title scene that is seems to be very top heavy right now. What did you think of that? What did you think of that whole scenario of the match? I love the Extreme Rules match, and also, did you see that? Did you see that part where Braun Breaker got thrown out of the ring and landed on that shopping cart full of items and like looked like he almost like tore something in his leg? It
Yes.
was a bad landing.
Yes. Yes, and it's like why? I know it is it's in Philadelphia. I know the history. Uh but why are we doing that shit on a Monday Night Raw? On a damn toolbox. What are you thinking? And then there was another spot where all of the chairs were splayed all over the mat, and then
Yeah,
Braun Breaker sets two chairs back to back, and that nasty bump that Jay
Jay.
Uso took
Yeah.
on top of the freaking chairs. I'm like,
Oh
as
my
soon
god.
as Braun Breaker was putting his big dumb paws on those chairs, I went, well, this is going to be stupid, and it was.
You were
It
not disappointed.
no, like, and I know the story. It was over the course of the year that Jay Uso had nasty rib injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think he does stuff like that?
Crazy, man. Crazy. I will say this. I liked Jay Uso's tribute to New Jack. I thought that was fun.
I agree. I agree. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought the match was good. Well, I mean, like, okay, we saw the segment. Everybody saw what happened. We had
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns and Jey Uso stand tall at the end of the night,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it all went down. What are we? What are we doing with Roman Reigns? Like, I'm not upset to see Roman Reigns because I love Roman.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? Where are we going with him right now?
I think I think he is just doing a stint where he's putting over younger talent.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, he's definitely been putting over Bronson Reed, getting his kicks taken, but he finally got the upper hand this past week.
the way that the there was a certain camera angle where uh Jay was about to get the pin, and at the last second all you just see is the ref being like pulled like
Yeah.
cartoonishly out of the ring, and then you see Bronson Reed taking off the ref shoe and just beaming it at him.
What is it? Do he?
Hilarious.
Are we getting to a point where Bronson Reed has a foot fetish? Because what's going on?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not shaming I'm not
I mean, I'm
shaming
not
anyone's
shaming. I
kink.
mean, I'm not. I
Not
mean, you
shaming
like what
anyone's
you
kink,
like.
but like I don't know. I uh, the Oscilla likes feet, I guess.
I,
Not maybe not feet, but shoes. That's an even
yeah.
weirder fetish.
Oh man, funny stuff. I enjoy. I like you said. I thought this past Monday Night Raw was a good episode. It kind of ramped things up, getting me more excited for the Clash in Paris, which is
Mhm.
shaping up to be like a really good show. But I got to say, this was a really good show too. I always enjoy when we come here on Wednesday. We had a lot to talk about. It was a really good episode. I think we were both woke up and was like just feeling inspired today, ready to put on a good
Mhm.
episode, and that is exactly what we did. And we had a lot of great interactions in the chat as well. But with that being said, we're going to slide on out of here because it's been that great episode. But I always got to give my co-host an opportunity to plug anything that she has going on, where they can catch you, where can they catch you, and everything that you're doing, Annie?
Well, this Saturday, August 23rd, I will be live at my last show in Michigan.
Yes,
Yep. So that will be for CCW City Championship Wrestling for Survival of the Fittest 2, where in one of the main events of the evening, the household's own Ray Larson is going head to head with formerly known Gigi Dolan, Priscilla Kelly.
that's gonna be so dope.
It's Ray has been in the gym training day in and day out, and she is coming for that win. I know she's so capable of getting.
Yes.
Um, and that's she's just having a hell of a year, and
Hmm.
congratulations to her, one of my absolute best friends. Um, then next week I return to Marshfield, Wisconsin for Crossfire at Bakerville Bar and Grill, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, I have some news that I
Ooh,
forgot all about. And but in your house gets the first scoop because obviously that's what we do here.
sure.
Um, my merch line is dropping. I have
Yes,
an official store, and we'll link that. We'll link that somehow. And yeah, if you want to be Annie branded, I team up with Frontline Pro to make that happen. I have crop tops. I have hoodies. I have leggings. Wild. This is truly happening, and I'm completely grateful for Frontline Pro for putting me in that seat, and we're going straight to the moon. Con, what is going on with you?
man. You know I'm always busy doing what I can here for the household. Before I get into what I'm doing, let me bring this up here. This is the site where you guys can check it out. Everything Annie branded
Yes.
is right here. You got some hoodies, you got some tank tops, some t-shirts, some different colors here, shorts, just all kinds of awesome merch here. So check this out. I will put a link in the description of the podcast version when it drops so you guys can check it out. But yeah, that is all the Annie merch right there. So I wanted to make sure that they got it. And once again, look in the description. You can see our Discord link, and you can also see
Yes.
our Annie merch link right here on Etsy. So make sure you check that out, and everything that Annie is doing. She does a lot of great work. As for me, I'm doing work here and in your house, and we got a lot of awesome things that are coming up. I just had on my man, our guy, Paragon. He talked about a Japan trip. Make sure you guys check that out. I went back and listened to that episode, and I really enjoyed it. I always like to go back and listen to what we do just to see where we can improve and get better. Me, myself specifically, I'm always looking to get better and whatnot. But we got some big things going on here in the next week because next Saturday, the 30th, of this month, the 30th of August. 7 p.m. is the In Your House fantasy football draft. We're going to be drafting for the regular season for the NFL. And this is for some prizes, y'all, some In Your House merch and an opportunity to come on the podcast and be a guest co-host, you know? So
Absolutely.
so it's going to be a great opportunity, a lot of fun. We're going to be doing it through the NFL season. So yeah, that's the In Your House Championship League, the fantasy football league there. And then the 31st, usually we have our Sunday house party and we talk all things professional wrestling throughout the week. But on the 31st, we have the Clash in Paris that's going down. So we usually go at around noon, maybe 1 o'clock. So I just thought, hey, since they're running at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, why don't we do an In Your House Clash in Paris live watch along? That's going to be going down. It's going to be involved in the core for myself, the voice, Josh Joseph Grunmeister, and Hypocrisy Jones returns to the podcast to come and be a part of this watch along. And anybody else in Team In Your House that wants to join, that is what we're doing. So join us. It'll be a little bit before the show starts, 1:30 p.m. August 31st. We're going to be watching live the Clash in Paris right here at In Your House. We're going live here. You guys can join us in the chat. You guys can join us in the Discord. Join the Discord. See everything that we're doing. Follow us. Hit that follow button. Leave a review. Leave 5 stars. It all helps us. It all helps this podcast get noticed and get bigger and better, because the podcast, we're starting to get a lot of downloads again. And that's all part of the work. And that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neal and the whole team here at In Your House, I'm Alakan the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on, or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.